Hello and welcome back for part two. In the last part, we set up our character so he walks about. In this video, we're going to add a basic attack. But before I do that, I'm going to go back to my library and add some magic. So I've got these variety particle effects. So I'm going to add all of these to my project. Add to project. And this one as well. Add to project. Now, by the time we have set up all our inputs and stuff, we should be able to get access to those. So the first thing we're going to do is settings, project settings, and then inputs, action inputs, and we're going to create a new one called attack one. And it's going to be, for now, on the mouse button, left mouse button. Okay, so that's set up. And then let's go into the player, to his event graph, and then we need to create a variable called attack1. And then let's search for our input action that we called attack1. And very simply, we're just going to set attack1 to be true, have a delay, that's going to be the length of our attack animation, and then we set that to be false. Right, so let's go and have a look at the attack animation. So content, player, animations, and we have these different attack animations. So that's one. Okay, that's when he's sustaining and he's blasting it out. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so that's just a start if you want to break it down into different sections. I'll look at 3. Okay. Okay, so for now, I think we'll just use the first one. Oh, there's a fourth. Oh, that looks like it. Yeah, okay, that's like a actual hit with the staff. All right. So we're going to use this one, and this animation is exactly 1 second long. So back to our blueprints. We'll make this, instead of a second, we'll make it 0.9. And then we're going to go to our animation blueprint, and we're going to create a state for it. Pack 1. And we want to be able to go back there. Okay, and then we need to go to our event graph. Make sure we've compiled this so we can get access to our variables. Then we want to drag out and type attack or get attack. Get attack. If I can spell, get attack. Oh, I can't spell, so drag it down and then you'll see it. Where is it? Get attack. There it is. Get attack 1. And then we want to promote that to a variable. And then I'm going to call that attack 1 if I want to spell 1. So just using 1 and then plug that in because this variable can't be called the same as that one. I can't have 2 variables called the same. And now we can do our transitional rules. So when we transition from an idle walk, that's when attack 1 get is equal to be true. So tick that. Copy that, Control C, go back to locomotion in the return, and then Control V and just untick that, and then hit compile. Oh, but we didn't set the animation to be anything, so that won't work. And we did just want attack 1. Okay, and hit compile. And now, when we hit play, we've got an attack. But you'll see that it doesn't blend, okay? So the legs don't blend. So that's the next thing that we'll go set up. Where is it? Here. So what we want to do is we want to disconnect that, and we want to drag in our blend space, which is the initial blend space, which is the walk one. Because we may... okay, so for now we'll just set it up with this, but remember we're going to have to change between blend spaces. So that might get complicated when we start doing the attacks and stuff, but we'll burn that bridge when we come to it. We want a layered blend per bone. Plug that into there. Plug that into there, and then click on the layered blend per bone, and we've got to just click on a bunch of buttons before we get to what we want. Now we've got to open the skeleton of this guy, because we need to know what bone to blend from. Oh, that's his sword. Oh, see, they've added that now, so that's the effects have been added, which is great. Meshes, here we go. So click there, and it's spine. So I think we'll blend from spine 0, 1. Okay, so we want to type that in exactly how it is there. So spine, no capital, 0, 1. So spine _ 0, 1. What's going on? Oh, that's the blend depth, that's why. Spine _ 0, 1. Blend depth, I'm going to set that to 3, and I'm going to tick mesh space rotation, and I'm going to hit compile. And then I'm going to... Ooh. Okay, that didn't work. I've probably just not plugged things in as they should be. So I'll open that, and I can get straight back to here. No. Oh, because we haven't plugged anything into the speed. That's why. Compile. But it still is disconnecting the staff, which I've never seen before. So that's a problem. Okay. So let's see if... Let's just close that. Go back into here. Untick that and see if that has any effect. No? That's very strange. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go and create my own socket, because I don't know if there's a problem with the socket. So we'll just go and set that up now. So we'll use specific animation, attack animation, and hit pause. So try and get a bit where his hand is flat, like that. Okay, so at the very beginning of the animation, when he's pretty much in his idle pose, click on his hand, lower arm. Okay, no, that's not right. We want the hand. That's fine. And right. Okay. And then we're going to click on that, and we're going to add a socket. We're going to call it weapon _ location. And delete that so we can see it. Where's weapon location gone? Okay. There it is. So click on weapon location, and then we're going to add a mesh to it, preview asset. Good to have the staff we're going to use, but just any staff is at this point is important. Here it is. Okay, so we'll rotate it about there, and then let's get this in the location we want. And then I don't think we rotated it quite enough, so just turn the snapping off the rotation, back to weapon location, and just angle it exactly how we want. Hit play. Okay, that is now attached. So go back to the player, BP, and where we have staff location, switch that socket out for weapon location and hit compile. If not, we're going to have to do it in the construction script. Okay, that is working now. There was just a problem with the socket that they had set up. Okay, cool. Crisis averted. All right, so let's create a projectile. So we'll do that in the player folder. We'll create a new folder and we'll call it magic. Give that a capital there. Magic _ projectiles. All right, and we'll create our very first basic projectile. So we want a blueprint class actor, and we'll call this magic _ projectile 1 _ 01. I haven't spelled that right. Can't spell. It's one of them things. Right. So first thing we need to add is a particle effect, particle system, and we want to add a, what's it called? A projectile. Projectile movement component. Okay, so we'll go to the particle system, and let's then open up our content, advanced magic, packs. Here we go. So this very first one then is, because it's a blue wizard, we've got this eye shot here. So I'm going to click eye shot and then go back to where I was, to this particle system, and then click on the arrow and it will add that in for me. Okay, it needs rotating. So it's facing the correct, oops, we need to turn the snapping back on. Difficult to look at. So close, so turn it 90 degrees so it's facing the correct way. And then let's go to the projectile movement. Let's say the initial speed is 1500, max speed 1500. And that's all we'll need to do with that. And if we hit simulation up here, you'll see, if I just zoom out, you'll see that it actually falls to the ground because there is gravity on it. So perhaps what we want to do, and if rotation follows velocity, it will actually, yeah, it'll duck down like that when it does fall, which will look good. So we'll leave it at that, but I'm going to change the projectile gravity to be 0.8. I might turn it off altogether later. Hit compile. And then go to the player BP event graph. So when we do this, when we do attack 1, before the delay, we want to spawn actor from class. And we want that to be, the class wants to be the magic projectile 01. And the spawn transform wants to be, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach, I wonder if I can attach an arrow to the end of this. For now, just for now, we'll have, we'll create an arrow. We'll use that as the spawn transform, but has the arrow got a, sorry, the staff got any, so if I attach that to that, click on that. So you'll see now it's moving with the staff. So I'll just disconnect it. And then I'm going to turn off his animation. So the way to do that, if you're having a problem, you want to attach things, you can just come here to the anim class, hit none, and then compile, and then you won't have an animation. But it has also got rid of the staff. Right. So Control Z. That broke the staff for some reason. So delete that. That broke a lot of things by the looks of things. Can we just delete? All right, there we go. Control Z. There we are. All right. So instead of doing that, because that's not going to work, place this on top. That normally does work, to be honest with you. Obviously, some problems working with this asset pack. And then place this on top of there like that, and then roughly rotate it so that it's facing the same angle as the staff, and then line it up just like so. And then what happens if I parent that now? Okay, can I still move it? Yep, I can. Turn off snapping. And this, while this is moving, is no fun. I'm going to tell you that. Alright. So it's not exactly lined up at that side, but... Okay, and we're going to use that as the transform for the shot. Now we can come back and refine all this later, or we might want to find that we actually want to place it coming from the center of the character rather than from the staff. But we'll see. Okay, so event graph, we want to use the arrows transform. So get world transform. Plug that into the spawn transform. Now hit compile, and then let's see what we got. Whoa, okay. So you can see there, that is working, but it's happening instantly. And what we want is we want to have the delay for when the animation is actually in the right place for him to shoot it. So let's have a look at that. So open up his animation, which is in the player animation folder. And it's this attack one. And then let's just pause it so we can go through the frames. So when he gets to frame, that's when we want it. So it is at 0.5. Okay, so go back to the player. We've already got this 0.9, so we'll have to make that a 0.4. And then put another delay of 0.5 over here. Oops. Control Z. We have to make the full delay up of the animation. So 0.5, and then hit compile. And then the staff should be in the correct place. There we go, to cast the spell. All right, so we've got a basic. Oh, but there's all kinds of problems with this right now. We aren't setting it to do once or anything like that, so that's just an easy thing to do. Do once, and after the delays and after you set that back, you can reset that. So now it should only be able to do it once, even if I'm pressing the button loads of times. Still not working very nicely. And I think that's because, yeah, there's too much of a delay for some reason. Oh, it's because I've left that at 0.9. I needed to change that to 0.4. And I think that'll be the last thing for this video, because that is now working. All right, it's not very useful, and we don't have a really good view yet. So I'm going to play around with that and in the next one, which I'll see you then.